Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Bailey.
And this is Brianna.
We are recording in the morning today. Usually we're in the afternoon, so I'm drinking my breakfast as we record. I am doing what did I all put in here? A banana, zucchini, chia seeds, vanilla drink wholesome, further foods, hazelnut collagen,
hmm
something else, cold brew.
I got the hazelnut collagen for them too. I like it. I
It's a
did
good one.
because I'm doing further foods also. I'm doing the pumpkin spice collagen, which
Yes, sounds good.
I'm not really a pumpkin person and I really like it. I got it mostly for Victor because he
Yeah.
likes collagen in his coffee. So I got the hazelnut, which I do like. And then this morning I was like, I'm gonna try the pumpkin. It smells delicious. It's actually really good.
So I like it because it's pumpkin spice, but it's not super
It's
spicy. Like if
yeah, it's not like yeah, that's what it is. It's not like yeah, because
because
I even
I
added
like
a little
pump.
cinnamon and it was good.
Yeah, I like pumpkin. I don't like a lot of pumpkin spice. There's a
Pumpkin
difference.
spice. Maybe that's what it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's good. I did it with just like a little blonde espresso and oat milk and that, and it's perfect. Like you don't have to add anything else.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
keeping it easy. That's why I love these different collagen flavors because you don't have to add like syrups or anything and
Mm.
it just tastes good.
There's no weird aftertaste. You know how sometimes there's like weird aftertaste? There's not.
Yes,
So
that's good.
it's a yes for me.
Perfect. Yes. Today we are talking about fibermaxing. This has been circulating the social media. And back in a few years, I'm like, remember that time where we were obsessed with fiber? Now, hopefully, this is a good trend,
Yeah.
but I think with anything, I think we're going to take it too far and
Yes.
we're going to be crapping our brains out and wondering why we're so bloated all day long.
Yeah.
So, we're going to teach you how to fiber max. I don't want to say like the correct way, but we're going to,
Realistically,
yeah,
the
that's
best way to Fibermax, because I mean, you're right. We do everything, it's like too far, right? And like we've seen it with like protein, which I'm always like, yeah, protein. I mean, there's some people where I'm like, I don't know if we need like 200, 250 grams of protein. That's kind of a lot. Your stomach probably hurts. But
mhm.
now it was like everyone was like, we're so obsessed with protein, we're forgetting about fiber, which I'm like, okay, like I can get on that. And now it's like, you should be doing 100 grams of fiber a day. This is how I
Well,
do it. And
yeah,
I'm like, the
too
average
far.
American is barely getting the recommended amount. Like
Hmm.
they're getting half the recommended amount. Let's not go to 100 right now. You're gonna feel like crap, no pun intended.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of people who are getting to like these very high numbers, I would say I realistically can typically get in like 40 grams of fiber a
Yeah.
day. I don't use any fiber supplements. I see when you're getting too much higher, like 70s, it's using a lot of supplements or
hmm
those like low carb tortillas or like there's bagels out there that have over 20 grams of fiber.
Yeah.
So we're going to break that down. But basically, if you haven't heard of fibermaxing, the goal is you're just intentionally increasing your intake of fiber. Now, some people have their different definitions of it. I mean, per usual, we kind of tweak things for what fits us or based on like telephone. It's like, oh yeah, we heard fibermaxing, increase your fiber.
Yeah.
But really, the idea is increasing your daily intake of real whole food fiber. So
hmm
that's going to come from fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains.
Yeah.
And my Brianna said like most women are actually getting like 10, 14 grams per day, but a minimum is 25.
hmm
For optimal, I would say getting to like 40 is
Yeah.
a good goal to get to. Men, on the other hand, need at least 38 grams of fiber. So,
hmm Yeah.
and it is tricky to get up to there. It takes a little bit more intentional planning. I would say it's not impossible, but you can get there. And I think it's once you just get in the habit of including fiber, including all these different sources, and eating enough carbs, that's going to be a big part to getting enough fiber,
Yeah.
then it's going to become easier. But this fiber is important to slow your digestion. It's going to help reduce that blood sugar response or your glucose response. It's
hmm
going to support your gut microbiome so you have nice, healthy bacteria lining your gut. It's
hmm
going to make you feel fuller because it's going to expand. And then it's also going to help cholesterol and some other just metabolic markers within your body, but it helps remove excess cholesterol and can then, I mean, especially when we think about blood sugar balancing, it can actually reduce your cravings later in the day.
Mhm.
I often see we're very low on fiber because, I think it's a lot of the diet foods. They don't have a lot of fiber or like whole food fiber. And we've been taught that carbs are bad. So, kind of, if you're in that generation, you're not going to be getting enough fiber.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the big problem is a lot of the diets are like don't eat carbs, right? Like keto is very low carb, carnivore is like zero carb, Atkins, all the low carb diets. So of course it makes sense that our fiber intake is down. And then the other problem is when people do start thinking, oh, okay, I want to increase my fiber, but they're still low carb. But that's when they start using a lot of, they're usually marketed as like keto products because keto
Yes.
doesn't get carbs. So what they do is they just add a crap ton of fiber into something like a tortilla or a bread or a bagel. Like I've seen the carbonate bagels are like
Mhm.
30 grams of fiber.
Oh, God.
I'm like, ugh, be careful.
It's going to be, yeah, marketed as keto, but also like on the front where they're like two net
Two
carbs.
net carbs. Yeah, it's because they have a ton of fiber, which I always get asked, like, is that bad? It's not necessarily a bad thing, but real fiber has water, polyphenols, other micronutrients, resistant starch, that sort of thing. Whereas, like, added fiber are single molecules, it's not the whole thing. And so you need to really make sure, like, I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm doing a lot of other things when I have those products because you will react differently, right? Like I guarantee you, you could go eat a large portion of like beans or lentils, chia seeds, and then if you were to eat kind of like that same amount of fiber in like the keto tortillas or something like that, you're probably going to feel a little bit different,
Hmm.
especially depending on what added fiber they use. So for me, when I think of fiber maxing or just increasing fiber, I want to see it coming from those whole foods because you're going to have a better digestive response to it. And that's when you're feeding your good gut bacteria. You're also increasing like just whole foods in general, which is great. And it's going to be a little bit harder to get to an amount that you can't tolerate. Because I think that's the key is there I see all these things going around like people are going above their daily recommended or they're exceeding the daily recommended amount. We don't really have an upper limit for fiber, but we do know probably over 70 you're going to be uncomfortable unless you're doing that all the time, which most people are not. But with fiber maxing, I'm seeing people go from the 10 to like I got 60. I'm like, how did you feel? Like gas, bloating,
Yeah.
cramping, diarrhea. Like you have to go low and slow.
Yeah, you want to slowly build up and especially make sure you're hydrating. This is the part that we often forget. If you're adding all this fiber and not hydrating, you're actually going to probably get constipated. I always think about, like the Fiber One bars.
Hmm.
I still love those and
Yeah.
I love them for the taste, but they would make me cramp up so bad. And I was like, oh, it's working. Like it's going to make me go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't mean it's working. Literally, so the fiber that's in those Fiber One bars, it is pulling water into your intestines at a
Hmm.
very quick rate because there's such a concentrated amount of it. So it's pulling it, that's why you're cramping. And
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I think the goal is to where pulling water in so it softens and then you can have a bowel movement, but you shouldn't have to be in pain to have a bowel movement. That's not the
Right.
goal. When you were consistently getting fiber in every day, it's going to be easier on your digestive system.
Yeah.
So you don't have this like up and down of I'm bloated because I had too much fiber or anything like that. You, if you're eating like 40 grams of fiber, like you work your way up to there, you should not have like this gas bloating, cramping, diarrhea, anything like that. You should be very consistent with your bowel movements,
Yeah.
1 to 3 a day. And yeah, I think it's depending on, yeah, where are those sources of fiber
Hmm.
coming from? Because so you do have two different types of fiber. Not that you have to memorize these, but you have insoluble and soluble fiber. There's going to be a lot of overlaps. Like insoluble fiber is like one that's creating roughage. It's helping kind of the bulking, giving regularity, and it adds volume to your meal, so it keeps you really full. This is going to be in your veggies, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and the skin of your fruits. So this
Hmm.
is something where I see a lot of people, they're like peeling their fruits and they're like, oh, I got 2 grams of fiber.
You
Mm,
didn't.
You're probably
You
losing a
didn't.
lot of that fiber.
Yeah, you cut it off.
That skin is a lot of your fiber. That's why like apples and pears, kiwis are really good for fiber if you eat the skin.
Oh yeah.
Trick for kiwis, because I used to be afraid of the skin. Thinly slice them.
Oh yeah.
It makes a difference. It's not bad at all. I hate like peach skin. I compromise with myself and I will eat half of it with the skin on, half of it not. But kiwi skin does not bother me at all. Which, by the way, did you know that there were so many different types of kiwis?
I
Like, have
didn't.
I been living under a rock? I
I
don't
didn't. I
know.
just thought there was one. And
Yeah,
then
like the green
Costco
ones.
had like golden
Yes,
kiwi. So I was like,
yes.
oh, what
That's
are
what Sam's had.
yeah.
So they had the golden ones. I got those. Delicious. Those actually might be my favorite. And then they had red ones. Those are
Oh,
really good too. They taste very similar, I think, to the gold ones, but I think the other varieties I prefer over like the typical
just like the
green kiwi.
regular. Yeah.
But I didn't know there was different types, and
Yeah.
I study food for a living, so
Well, I think it's
fun
also
fact.
like really just dependent on where you live because like other countries, they're like raspberries. Like, what the heck is that? You know? So I guess it's like
Okay, yeah.
dependent. I was reading something the other day that was telling like how much fruit variety there is in the world. There's like hundreds. So I'm like, well, I guarantee you my grocery store does not
Yeah.
have hundreds.
Yes.
So now I'm like curious. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Like,
Well, when we were in Jamaica, I had papaya, and I've tried it like in Missouri before, did not like it. And I was like, oh, I'll try it. So much better in Jamaica.
yeah,
Probably a
probably
little
delicious.
fresher,
A little
but then
fresher.
like their melon was not great. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
papaya
Yeah,
was really good there.
I
But
know.
yeah, okay, so insoluble fiber,
Yes.
sorry, squirrel. Soluble fiber is your gel forming, and it's going to be in like oats, beans, berries, chia, apples. So it's
Hmm.
going to slow down that digestion. It's going to blunt that blood sugar rise, and this is going to be the one that kind of feeds your good bacteria. And then you have the added fibers. Your added fibers are going to be like inulin, chicory root, soluble corn fiber,
Hmm.
modified wheat starch. Those are pretty common fibers that are added. Again, not to say these are just like bad products, but this example I always give because I really like the Extreme Wellness tortillas. I think they have like, is it 12 grams of fiber in them?
Yeah, I
It's,
think you're
I mean,
right.
it's definitely higher than 3, which is like a typical whole
Yeah.
grain product. I like them because if you look at the label, like I'm pretty sure it's the whole grain and then it's flaxseed. Those are two of the like whole food fiber sources that the fiber is coming from. And then it has some added fiber to it, which is why it
Yes.
bumps it up. So I still do those. I like those. I think they're a good product, but I don't take that as like, here's my 12 grams of fiber for this meal. I still add fiber. So like if I'm gonna make a wrap, I'm still gonna put some vegetables in there. And I'm still gonna do fruit on the side to really get more of that whole food fiber in. I don't know. Is that how you kind of approach it with products like that?
Yes. I was just looking up the like carb balance ones just to
Oh
see
yeah.
what their first ingredient is. It's well water and then it's the wheat starch, which
Okay.
is where
Yeah.
it's getting. And those have like what is it? Like 17 grams of fiber.
Yeah, I think that's
Like it's a
higher
lot.
than the
Yeah.
extreme wellness
But
ones.
that's kind of how I do it too. I really try to
Yeah,
think like,
extreme wellness is 12 grams of fiber. I was looking that
okay,
up real quick.
yes.
The first thing, well, first water, second resistant wheat starch, potato starch, wheat protein, and then it's cellulose, and then it's whole wheat. I swore there were flax seeds in here. I wonder if they changed
There
them.
is one with flax seeds. It might be
Okay, maybe I'm
the
just looking at a different one.
maybe the Siete ones. Or no, yeah.
I
Those are
think they might have changed this recipe because it now has like avocado oil in it. I don't remember
oh.
that.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I don't try to think like, oh, I'm just getting 17 grams of fiber in this, so I don't need to add anything else. I'll do like avocado or what I try to just do the whole food because I react very and I've tested this just to be like, okay, if I get the majority from like a tortilla like this and like an Olipop and this, I don't feel the same as if I get the same
Yeah.
from Whole Foods. I just don't. And so, and that's what I try to encourage people to do. Like, yes, starting out fiber is good, but eventually it's same with like protein powders, right? Or like protein
Mhm.
bars. Like if you're
Or like the
using those
protein
when you
shakes.
start out, yeah, like when you're using them to start out to get like a good amount of protein, okay, fine. But eventually we're graduating towards like, how do I add more whole food sources of protein? That's what I do with fiber
Hmm.
because you're
Yes.
not going to feel the same. And also, I want you like adding variety and color and stuff to your plate. And if you're just like, oh, this has 17 grams of fiber, you're not adding fruit or vegetables or anything else. So your variety isn't there. And that's really important too when it comes to, am I getting fiber? The
Hmm.
other thing too is the added fibers don't really like mimic the, I guess, what do we want to call it? Like metabolic response that
So
real fiber
I don't
does.
know if this is what you're getting to, but like for example, like on a CGM, I've actually seen people have a higher glucose response when using like a low carb tortilla.
Yes.
Um,
I don't know
And
why that is.
I guess like the more refined, more processed, because I've seen that happen. Same
Hmm.
way, like I mean, diet sodas. I've seen people have a high glucose response
I
to it.
have too.
They're like, there's no
Cauliflower
carbs.
pizza as well. I don't know
Yes,
what it
I
is
had
about
someone.
cauliflower
Uh-huh.
pizza. Yeah.
Yep,
Or
I had someone the other day.
someone was like, should I have just done the real pizza? I'm like, well, your CGM is telling me yes.
Yeah,
Like when
try
I'm
it.
looking at your blood sugar, yes, but you're not gonna real fiber when it has all the other like components to it. It helps that it slow carbs absorption better than these added ones. It improves your GLP-1 response. It reduces insulin spikes and it feeds your good bacteria, your good gut bacteria. There's something to be said about the whole digestion and absorption process when it's coming from whole foods. We even see that with like protein digestion of like chicken versus like aminos. Like we
Hmm.
know there's better absorption and all that because of the whole digestive process of just breaking down real foods. So you can use these things to supplement, that's fine, but really thinking like my goal is to be increasing whole foods. And
Hmm.
same, I can get 40 grams without doing any supplement.
Yeah,
Easily.
and I think it almost seems I don't know, like maybe it's just easier for like, okay, increase fiber and you just go and look for all these high fiber foods that say high fiber. So don't forget your whole foods. That's where if you just think about fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts and seeds, whole grains.
Hmm.
That should be your fiber focus is those five groups. Start with including one serving of fiber at every meal, then
Yeah.
bump it up to two to every meal, then bump it up to three every meal. That's an easy way to kind of think about it, but I mean, as a good template, you could do like breakfast include a nut, like a peanut butter, include seeds like chia, and then include fruit. For
Hmm.
lunch, maybe do a fruit, vegetable, and a starchy carb. For dinner, or you could do fruit and two vegetables. For dinner, maybe you do some legumes and a vegetable and another vegetable. So like
Yeah.
maybe kind of give yourself a little bit of a template, but working your way up to at least three servings of fiber each meal. That's going to make it a
Hmm.
lot easier to hit your fiber goals.
Yeah. Yeah. And aiming for the five rule, 5 by 5 rule. Try to
Mhm.
get fiber from at least 5 different sources every day. Gets you around like 25 grams of fiber. I think first really just figuring out what the heck fiber is. And I mean, I know we do this. Like, I'll give them like a fiber guide that's like, these foods have fiber. And I tell them like how much grams is in each serving of like whatever that food is. And my whole thing is like, look through this list, highlight stuff that you actually like, and how can you spread these across your day? And then it
Mhm.
gets easier. And it's the low and slow too. Like, sometimes if I'm really concerned, like if people have a lot of like like GI issues, I look at their food journal and I'm like, they're getting like no fiber. Sometimes I'll have them just do their normal intake for like a couple days, figure out how much they're getting, and then we'll put together a plan. Okay, how do we increase this by like 2 to 5 grams per week? Because
Mhm.
the low and slow is going to feel good. Because I've had some people, and I know I've shared this before, that they're like, I can't tolerate fiber, so I don't do it. I'm like, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
You can,
And
you
that's
just
where,
did it wrong.
yes. And also, yeah, seeing like, how were you increasing fiber? Like, was
Yes.
it a fiber one bar or was it like, oh, I added some berries? So there are differences. Overall, fiber is not all created equally.
Yes.
Just like carbs are not all created equally, the protein sources aren't all created equally. When you're thinking about fibermaxing, slowly increase with real whole foods. Don't feel like you have to go buy every fortified product.
Hmm.
I would say those are main things. Like,
Yeah.
and try to just add one thing at a time. The
Hmm.
more fiber diversity you eat, the better your gut and metabolism will actually respond as well.
Yeah.
So get a variety, get all different types, get all different colors, and that'll be really beneficial.
Yeah. And I would say if you're going to supplement, that's fine. Use it as you're starting or use it to fill the gaps like when you're traveling or something, right? Like one of my easy tricks if you're traveling and you're in the middle of nowhere, okay, grab an Olipop from the gas station. Get yourself a
Hmm.
little bit like it's a fun way to get fiber, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm getting 7 grams of fiber every day for my Olipop, so I don't have to think about it again. Like su
I
supplement.
kind of think of it as like a bonus
Yes,
when I do things.
exactly. Like this is your bonus. It's fun. It's a better option. It has fiber, but
Yep.
yeah, really focusing on let me do this the right way. Don't do the extremes. Like I seen this video the other day and this guy's like, I'm attempting 85 grams of fiber today. And I'm like, this is the perfect example of us, like too much is a good
Being
thing.
weird. We're
Like, can
weird.
we just get people to eat 20 instead of 5 grams of fiber? Like, let's do that.
Mhm.
But we do that. We talk about that all the time. We do the extremes. So not remember, not all fiber is created equal. Do it low and slow. Increase your diversity. Focus on whole foods, and then see how you feel. Probably gonna feel good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we hope this episode brought you some clarity and brought you some direction as to how you can fiber max in a way that's not going to wreck your gut.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Have a great week,
Bye.
everyone.